Accessory number one, this little upgrade will seriously improve your life for less than you'd blow on a week's worth of overpriced oat milk lattes. And let's be real, $7 for coffee? It's just coffee and milk. If I'm paying that much, I better see the barista in the back milking the oats by hand. Anyway, for the same cash, you can snag a basic tank bag. Now, I get it. Some tank bags cost more than $200, made from military-grade materials designed to survive a nuclear apocalypse. But honestly, you don't need all that. A simple waterproof-ish tank bag is a total game changer. Way better than stuffing your phone, keys, wallet, and random snacks into your already tight jacket or riding pants. Especially when those armored pants have room for basically two Skittles and a stick of gum. Plus, real talk, if you go down and you've got keys, gadgets, and whatever else jamming into your pockets, you're asking for extra injuries. A tank bag keeps your essentials close, secure, and out of harm's way. Most of them attach with magnets if your gas tank's metal, or you can strap them down if it's not. Either way, your pockets deserve a break. Accessory number two, if you live somewhere cold or you've got more bikes than you can ride at once, flex much? You need a battery tender. These things are lifesavers. Cheap, easy to use, and they'll keep your bike's battery fresh when it's sitting in the garage for weeks or months at a time. And hey, if you've got a half-built turbo project collecting dust because you're too scared it won't start, slap a battery tender on that bad boy. That way you can still fire it up when your buddies come over, rev it a little, pretend you're going to finish it someday. I won't tell if you don't. Pro tip, get one with a quick connect cable. Not only does it make hooking up the tender way easier, but you can also use that same connector for a super cheap USB charger. Yup, two accessories, one plug. Now, a USB charger on your bike? Absolute must-have. Perfect for charging your phone while you're out riding, especially if you're using it for navigation, tunes, or keeping your TikTok followers updated on your coffee stops. And when you're not riding, unplug the phone and plug the tender back in. Boom, sorted. Accessory number three, once your phone's charging, where are you going to put it? Enter the Rockform phone mount. Now this one can get a little pricey if you go all out, but let me tell you, it's the only phone mount that can be trusted when doing spirited riding, like highway speeds, whatever the limit is where you live. Sure, you can grab a cheap knockoff mount for $20 on Amazon, but guess what happens when you hit a pothole at 80 miles per hour? That $1,000 phone turns into road pizza. Rockform mounts are rock solid, easy to install, and come with vibration dampeners so your phone doesn't shake itself to death. These mounts work with cars, bikes, and even mountain bikes. And trust me, if you're serious about keeping your phone safe, this is the one you want. Don't just take my word for it. Check the reviews, ask around. It's a fan favorite. Accessory number four. Now let's talk about security. Look, unless you're locking your bike inside a Fort Knox-grade garage with laser sensors, electric fences, and a retired Navy SEAL standing guard 24/7, you're not going to make your bike totally theft-proof. That said, you can make stealing it a whole lot more annoying for a thief. Enter the disc lock. Simple, compact, easy to use, and perfect for those quick stops when you have to park your bike out of sight for a minute. It's not going to stop a determined crook with a van and an angle grinder, but it will slow down the average punk looking for a quick grab. And sometimes that's enough. They're small enough to toss in your tank bag or backpack and way easier to deal with than lugging around a huge chain or U-lock. Word of warning though, for the love of spark plugs, don't forget to take it off before you ride away. That horrible clunk followed by the "what did I just do" moment. Yeah, it's happened to all of us at least once. You'll only forget once though. Promise. Accessory number five. This one's for the long-distance riders, or anyone who rides in hot weather, a hydration pack. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Bro, it's not an ultra marathon, it's a motorcycle ride. But hear me out. You don't realize how dehydrated you get while riding, especially when it's hot or you're geared up head to toe in leather or textile. A hydration pack lets you sip water without pulling over, taking your helmet off, and digging around for a bottle. Stay hydrated, ride longer, and avoid that end-of-day brain fog when you realize you haven't had a drink in 4 hours. Also, let's be real. Instagram and TikTok taught us water fixes everything, right? Bad mood? Drink water? Hungover? Water. And hey, fun fact, hydration packs also double as extra back protection in a pinch. Fill that sucker up, toss it on, and you've got a makeshift water pillow between you and the asphalt. Not a bad bonus for a $30 accessory. Accessory number 6. This one's for your ears. Earplugs. Seriously, if you ride without earplugs, you're not just exposing yourself to permanent hearing damage from wind noise, you're also missing out on a way better riding experience. You can grab a pack of foam disposables for like $10, or invest in a good reusable pair for around $30 to $50. I'm a foam plug guy myself, cheap, comfy, and you don't feel bad chucking them when they get gross. If you've ever spent a day in wet riding gear or forgotten your boots in the rain, you already know bikers have enough nasty stuff to deal with. No need to add ear infections to the list. Plus, earplugs make your helmet speakers or Bluetooth comms sound clearer, block out annoying road noise, and let you focus on what matters, the ride. And hey, if you can't hear that weird knocking sound from your engine, is it really a problem? Kidding, mostly. Accessory number 7, last but definitely not least, a tool roll. If you don't have one, you're riding dangerously close to the edge, my friend. Sure, new bikes are reliable, but stuff happens. Bolts come loose, chains need tightening, levers snap. Having a small basic toolkit can save your day and your wallet. You've got two options here. Grab an empty roll and fill it with your own tools, or buy a pre-packed kit. The pre-packed ones won't win any quality awards, but for $30 to $50, they'll get you out of a jam. Pro tip, make sure your kit has the right sizes for your bike. Whether you ride an old-school American V-twin or a modern Japanese sport bike, you need the right mix of metric or SAE tools. And one bonus pro move, throw a few zip ties, electrical tape, and a couple of spare bolts in your tool roll. You'd be shocked how often a simple zip tie can save a ride. Accessory number 8. Ever tried to haul stuff on a sport bike? It's basically like trying to carry groceries while riding a cheetah. That's where a cargo net saves the day. Seriously, these little stretchy webs of bungee cords are one of the simplest, most underrated pieces of gear you can buy, and they usually run between $10 and $20. Now you might be thinking, bro, I don't carry stuff on my bike. But trust me, the day will come when you need to strap down a bag of tacos, a spare helmet, or a chunk of treasure you found on the side of the road. Hey, it happens. That's when you'll be glad you stuffed a cargo net in your bag or under your seat. They've got multiple hooks and tons of stretch, which makes them a million times better than fiddling with sketchy bungee cords or trying to MacGyver a tie-down out of your hoodie. If you're riding with no luggage but you might grab a pizza on the way home, this is your move. Cheap, light, and takes up no space when you're not using it. Accessory number 9. Okay, bonus time, because I'd feel bad if I didn't mention this one. A helmet visor cleaning kit. Now this sounds kind of boring, but if you ride anywhere that's got bugs, dust, road grime, or just mystery splatter flying around, you know how gross your visor gets. And riding with a smeared, bug-splattered visor is like watching a movie through a dirty fish tank. A little microfiber cloth and a travel-size bottle of helmet-safe cleaner costs less than $20, and it makes a huge difference. Keep it in your tank bag or jacket pocket and thank yourself every time you stop for gas and your helmet looks like it's been through a windshield bug apocalypse. Plus, don't be that person wiping your $700 helmet visor with your gloved hand or a dirty paper towel from the gas station bathroom. That's how you end up with scratches and regret. A proper cleaning kit is one of those things you won't realize you needed until you have it. Accessory number 10. Finally, if you're still riding without a phone mount and using your phone for GPS or music control, you're basically asking to launch your phone into orbit at 60 miles per hour. Now earlier I shouted out Rockform for being the high-end, ultra-secure option, and yeah, they're awesome. But if you're on a tight budget, there are cheaper alternatives out there under $50 that'll still do a decent job. Look for a mount with a reliable clamp mechanism, a vibration damper if you can get one, and an easy way to detach your phone when you stop. Avoid the super cheap plastic clip-on types. Those are fine until you hit a pothole and your phone yeets itself into oncoming traffic. Pro tip, spend a few extra bucks on a mount that attaches to your handlebars or your stem mount. Stay away from anything with sticky pads or flimsy rubber bands. Your phone is worth protecting. Not to mention, it's your GPS music player, emergency contact device, and occasionally your I need to call for a tow truck machine. Bonus accessory. Let's talk about a kickstand puck, also known as a kickstand plate. This little piece of plastic or metal costs about $5 to $15, and it's basically the motorcycle equivalent of a coaster for your drink. Ever parked your bike on soft ground, grass, hot asphalt, or gravel, and come back to find it slowly tipping over like a drunk uncle at a wedding? Yeah, not a good time. A kickstand puck spreads the weight of your bike over a larger surface area, so your kickstand doesn't sink into the ground and leave your ride laying on its side. You can buy fancy branded ones, but honestly, an old hockey puck or a chunk of sturdy plastic works too. Some riders even use a flattened aluminum can in a pinch. I keep one in my tank bag at all times because you never know when you'll have to park on sketchy ground at a campsite, rally, or random backroad overlook. Another honorable mention, zip ties and duct tape. Not glamorous, not high-tech. But these two things can fix about 80% of roadside motorcycle problems. Loose fairing, zip tie it, broken mirror stalk, duct tape it, busted turn signal hanging by a wire. Both. You don't need a whole roll of tape. Just wrap some around a small stick or old pen to keep it compact. A handful of medium and large zip ties tucked into your tool roll or tank bag takes up zero space and can be a lifesaver when something breaks miles away from the nearest shop. And finally, one last cheap mod for your comfort. Grip puppies or grip covers. These foam sleeves slide over your existing handlebar grips, adding a little extra diameter and cushioning. Why does that matter? Well, it reduces hand fatigue, cuts down on handlebar vibration, and makes long rides way more comfortable. They're usually around $10 to $20 and install in seconds. If you've got smaller grips or your gloves don't have a ton of padding, this one's a game changer. It's especially helpful on bikes with a little bit of buzz through the bars. Looking at you, older sport bikes and single-cylinder thumpers. All right, that's officially the list. 10 solid, wallet-friendly motorcycle accessories under $50, with a few bonus tips and hacks for good measure. None of this stuff's going to turn your bike into a gold-plated superbike or make you an instant pro racer, but they will make your rides more comfortable, safer, and just a little easier. And let's be real, when you're spending thousands on bikes, gear, and mods, finding simple, cheap stuff that actually works feels like winning the lottery. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next ride. Ride safe, stay weird, and remember,